The silent breakdown of the parent-child bond. Something strange is happening inside modern families. Children are growing up in the same houses as their parents, but emotionally, they live on different planets. They eat together, they sit in the same rooms, they share the same last name, yet somehow, they feel like strangers. This is not rebellion. This is not disrespect. And it's not because children suddenly became bad. It's something quieter than that. A slow, invisible breakdown. A breakdown that doesn't happen in one argument, but over years of not being understood. This is the silent breakdown of the parent-child bond. For generations, parenting was built on obedience. Do what you're told, don't ask questions, respect authority. And for a long time, it worked. But the world changed. Children today don't just live in homes, they live in networks. They compare, they question, they observe. And when obedience is demanded without emotional safety, children don't become disciplined. They become distant. They stop explaining. They stop sharing. They stop trusting. Not because they want to hurt their parents, but because they don't feel safe being honest. Psychologist Alfie Kohn warned that obedience can be trained through fear, but connection never is. Obedience creates silence. Connection creates openness. Modern families often choose the first and wonder why they lose the second. Parents and children today grew up in completely different emotional worlds. Parents grew up offline. Children grew up online. Parents learned to hide emotions to survive. Children are encouraged to express emotions to exist. So when a child says, "I feel overwhelmed," the parent hears, "You're weak." And when a parent says, "Be grateful," the child hears, "Your feelings don't matter." No one is evil here. No one is trying to fail. They're just speaking different emotional languages. Attachment theorist John Bowlby explained that children don't bond through authority. They bond through safety. And when safety disappears, attachment slowly follows. Disobedience is rarely about control. It's about autonomy. Children push back when they feel unseen, when rules feel rigid but explanations feel absent, when love feels conditional. A child who feels heard doesn't need to rebel loudly. A child who feels ignored has no choice but to push harder. Dr. Gabor Mate often reminds us, children don't act out because they are broken. They act out because something inside them is unmet. What parents call disrespect is often a desperate attempt to be acknowledged. And the more it's punished, the deeper the emotional wall becomes. Many parents unknowingly raise children through fear. Not physical fear, emotional fear. Fear of disappointing, fear of punishment, fear of being misunderstood. Fear creates compliance, but it kills intimacy. Children raised on fear behave well in front of parents, but hide their real lives. They seek safety elsewhere. Peers, screens, strangers online. Trust-based parenting feels risky because it requires listening. And listening means hearing things you may not like. Modern psychological research consistently shows children raised with emotional safety develop stronger long-term bonds than those raised through strict control. Children don't detach randomly. They detach when vulnerability is punished, when emotions are dismissed, when mistakes are remembered longer than growth, when home feels like judgment, the outside world feels safer. Not because it's better, but because it listens. This is why many children share more with friends than parents, hide struggles, emotionally disappear at home. They are not cold. They are protecting themselves. Parents are not villains. Most are exhausted, overworked, carrying their own unhealed wounds. They were taught, if I survived this, my child can too. But survival is not the same as connection. Unhealed pain often turns into control, and control, even when motivated by love, pushes children away. Parents don't lose children because they cared too little. They lose them because they didn't know how to listen differently. Reconnection doesn't start with authority. It starts with humility. With phrases like, "Help me understand," "Tell me more," "I might be wrong." Children don't need perfect parents. They need present ones. Parents who listen without interrupting, who respond without exploding, who correct without humiliating. Respect grows where safety exists. The bond between parents and children doesn't break loudly. It fades, one ignored feeling at a time, one dismissed emotion at a time, one misunderstood moment at a time. And by the time silence feels permanent, both sides feel lonely. But it's not too late, because connection is not rebuilt through control, but through understanding. Children don't need perfect parents. They need parents who are willing to listen before it becomes too quiet to hear anything at all. If this made you think, subscribe. If this made you feel something, comment. And if you know someone who needs this, share it.